Let's talk about some Active Directory command line functionality. Those of you who grew up in the DOS world, or you grew up maybe in a non-Microsoft operating system, you kind of cut your teeth on typing commands on a command line, and you still to this day feel like you have ultimate control when you're using a command line utility as opposed to a graphical utility like Active Directory users and computers. Well, let's talk about first of all what you can do with command line utilities, and then go out and show you a quick example and some more help. First of all, there's a utility called dsquery that will actually search Active Directory for you. There's one called dsadd. Now you need to be aware of these on the exam because they could ask you questions about these, and I would suggest that you go out and play with these in your test environment before you take the exam. dsadd, we're going to use that one to create objects in Active Directory. dsget will go out and return specific attributes of an object. So if I want to see, what different attributes values are, I can use that. dsmod will modify specific attributes of an object. And then we continue on with dsmove. dsmove will move an object to a new container or an organizational unit. And then dsrm will remove an object and all the objects beneath a container, or both. So I can say get this object and get everything else under it, if you will, kind of in the tree out there. These command line utilities are great for people who like to write scripts, batch commands, and that sort of thing. Okay, well, let's go out to a command prompt and see kind of what this looks like and how you can get some more help on it. Okay, so now I'm out at the desktop. I will click Start, go to the Run command, and type in command CMD if you don't see it already. Click OK, and this will bring up our command window. Now, if yours is not this size, you can probably grab it and drag it and make it the size you want. And then just for your information here, if you right click on the title bar, you can go to Properties and you can set the window size. Let's do a quick one here. Let's just do a dsquery. Notice I can just type dsquery, and I'm going to query a user, and I'm going to look for the name attribute, and I want to see it where it starts with FR. And then I can use a wildcard, and I hit enter, and notice it returns me my Frank Jones, and it shows me what OU he's in, the East, and it shows me that he's in vtc.class domain. So dsquery is very easy to use. Now let's talk about some of those other tools that we had out there, the dsadd, dsget, and so forth. What I want to leave you with here is if you will just type dsquery /?, notice it's going to give you all kinds of information here. And notice I can query computers, contacts, subnets, groups, OUs, and I won't read all these to you, but notice I can put wildcard characters out here, and there's all kind of information. I would read over this stuff. So go to a command prompt, type dsquery, you see it right here where my mouse is, dsquery /?. Now if you'll scroll down a little bit, it also tells you that you can also get command line tools help on dsadd by typing it this way. So let's do that, dsadd /?. And notice I can add a computer, a contact, a group, and so forth. So if I want to see how to add a user, I will come down here to the command prompt, and I'll type dsadd user, and then my space and my question. So let's clear this off. CLS makes it easier to see. dsadd user /?. And now notice I'll scroll back up. It starts to show me, gives me the syntax. Notice how much control you have here. And then it goes through each of the parameters, and it shows me the things that I can set. Last name, set the user last name to whatever I type there. First name, and so forth. So there's lots to learn here, lots to see, but I would just strongly suggest you go through this and play with it, get your hands on, because you can add, change, do a lot of things really quickly with this, and in a command line or a batch type functionality. You may see or hear about that on the exam, and you just need to be aware of it, but you especially need to be aware of it in the real world.